Welcome back to the workshop. My name is Jack, this is Everyman Builds, and this is an Ooznest Workbee Z1 Plus CNC router. If you have followed along so far, you'll have two Y-plate assemblies, one with the drag chain mount and one X carriage assembly with the limit switch. In today's episode we're going to assemble the extrusions for the X Gantry. For the first part of this assembly we're going to need 12 M5 16mm button head bolts, extrusion B and extrusion E. We will then need 4 M5 T-nuts. The first step is to take the right Y carriage, and that's the one that does not have the drag chain. We'll keep the left one out of the way for now. And using extrusion B, we put it on the back two holes. So these ones directly below the rectangle cutout. And then I'll show you just on the other wire carriage for now, but it's these 4 holes. Let's see if I can get it there. 1 at the bottom, 2 to the side, and 1 above the 16mm opening for the lead screw. So it's that one, those 2, and that one there at the bottom. And we just put, again, some 16mm M5 bolts into that. And with those 2 bits stuck onto the Y carriage, we then need to slot 2 T-nuts into the top of the extrusion, the E extrusion, and 2 into the bottom. So the top, as oriented here, is obviously the top. The front is the side that has the most space, so opposite the C channel. So the other thing to note is that the orientation of them is the part that sticks out is the part that faces downwards into the extrusion rather than outwards. And now we can slide the X carriage onto extrusion E, and note that the nut blocks inside here should go inside the channel of extrusion E. And now with the carriage on, we can do the same assembly as we did over here on the other side with the left Y carriage. And we now have something that is beginning to resemble a CNC router. We've got a gantry, we've got something that moves along a gantry, and it's all becoming a little bit more exciting. For the next part of this assembly, you're going to need 2 flanged radial bearings, 2 rubber bushings, and 2 clamping collars. The clamping collars and the flanged radial bearings can be found in the motion box. The 2 rubber bushings can be found in the brackets and spacers box. We also need the lead screw for the X-axis, which will feed through from the what is now the left side because we're facing the back of the machine. It's the right Y carriage. And it says to feed that through about 100mm, slide on a flanged radial bearing, a rubber bushing, and a clamping collar. I'm going to have to go slightly more than 100mm just to support the weight. And then this feeds through the nut blocks in the X carriage. These should still be loose, so we feed it through one, we feed it through the other, we clamp them together, and then we can tighten them down. So we're going to feed that through here, nicely. And then from here we put a clamping collar first, then the rubber bushing, and then the flanged radial bearing with the flange on the X carriage side so that it seats against the Y plate. And then we can slide this all the way home. Don't need to feed it all the way through. What we can do is just pull it through, like that. Now we seat the radial bearing in the hole on the Y carriage, and it says to leave approximately 14 millimeters hanging out the end of what is the left Y carriage, but it's in your right hand side. And now's where we're going to have to get a bit fancy with the camera, because I can't have the camera there, and a camera here, because I've only got 2 cameras. So let's see what we can do here. So we have here the 14 millimeters poking out. It says to seat everything against the outside of the X carriage. Let's spin that around in there, and then tighten down the clamping collar. Here we need to have a few hands. We can tighten this down, and that's not going anywhere. I mean, it will go inwards for now, but it won't go any further out. And then we should be able to spin it and get the X Gantry to move, which we can. You will see it coming along shortly. Here. So the next step of this is to put the thrust bearings on. It's your left hand, but it's the right Y plate. You need a nylon shoulder washer, a thrust bearing housing washer, a thrust bearing caged roller, and a thrust bearing shaft washer, in that order. So it does say in the manual that the housing and shaft washers are very, very similar, and they are. The difference is that the housing washer has an ever so slightly larger hole, so it has a little bit more play than the shaft washer. We put the nylon shoulder with the lip facing inwards, the housing washer, the thrust bearing, and the shaft washer. The 2 parts of the washers with the grooves in them go facing towards the bearing, and that should spin nicely like that. And lastly, for this part of the assembly, we need one more clamping collar just on the outside here. Going to loosen it a bit to get it on the shaft. Press it tight and then lock it in place. It should still spin nicely. You should see the thrust bearings still spinning nicely, even if you move it independently of the 2 housings. And everything should still be nice and free. And then we do the same again on the other side, but this time we do the nylon shoulder washer, housing bearing, the thrust bearing, the shaft bearing, and on the final part we put a flexible coupler, which we're going to open up, slide on as tightly as we can. So we're going to tighten that as much as possible. Make sure that the thrust bearing here is sitting centrally in the other 2, otherwise it will have some play. Keep that as tight as possible and clamp that closed. And now we need to flip this assembly around so that we're looking at this side rather than that side facing away. And with it spun around, you need 4 8mm M5 button head bolts, 4 16mm M5 button head bolts, 4 precision shims, 4 M5 nylock nuts, and 4 of the right angle brackets. Using the 8mm bolt, screw the bracket into the T-nut, one of them. Doesn't need to be super tight at this point because we need to move it. And then screw the bottom angle bracket into the other T-nut. You might panic at this point thinking you've got all 4 T-nuts on one side of your X carriage like I did. Don't worry, just slide them all the way through. And now you fix the bracket to the outside carriage. Bolts just pop through. It takes a little bit of wiggling to get it over the head of the other bolt that's in there. A little bit of pushing. It doesn't need to be twisted necessarily, but it might help. Once you pull it tight with the nylock nut, it won't matter anyway. And then on the other side of here, take a precision shim That's the worst combination of letters I think I've ever had the pleasure of saying over and over again. Now we're going to tighten down both of those, and that should just make everything nice and square. I'm going to tighten it first against the Y carriage on both the top and the bottom. The Y plate, sorry. And then onto the extrusion. And then I'll do the same at the other end. So the last step here is using another stepper motor with the flat portion of the shaft facing the set screw in the flexible coupler and the cable facing downwards. We need 4 40mm aluminium spacers and 4 50mm cap head bolts. I'm going to do one just to get this fairly secure, and then free up a hand to do the others. I'm not going to tighten this one all the way, so we have enough space to do alternating corners like this. When I'm tightening something square or with 4 corners, I like to alternate corners. I don't know if that's just me, but it lets me have everything kind of in position before tightening the last 2. If you do just the top 2, I find sometimes, depending on how things are machined, you may end up with it slightly off. Maybe not in this case. This seems to be a fairly well designed machine. A fairly well machined machine, probably built with lots of machines similar to this machine. Last spacer, last 50mm bolt, line it all up, tighten it down and make sure it's nice and tight. Last but not least, we need to first tighten the, there's the flat spot, there it is. First tighten the clamping bolt, and then making sure you're still against the flat spot, tighten the grub screw. Spinning that, should spin that, should spin that. Everything is working as it was intended. And that's going to be it for this episode. We now have our X Gantry. We've got it all nice and square. The angle bracket should pull everything square, but we can check that if you want to. I have done off camera. Everything moves as it should. The stepper motor, once it moves the X carriage left and right. The lead screw is in place and nice and secure. I haven't tightened down these nut blocks yet. I should do that actually before we finish this video. I'm going to tighten the nut blocks now onto the lead screw just to make sure everything there is fine. I will see you in the next episode where we're going to do the base assembly, and we're getting close to having the physical assembly, the mechanical assembly finished. See you in the next one. Take care.